Well, what do you know? Jerry said something else crazy again. I mean, it's almost on a daily and weekly basis that this old man says something crazy. He's the definition of what the country represents. Old white men who refuse to relinquish power. That is the United States of America. That is Jerry Jones. He said something outrageous today in regards to giving up power or ever giving up power as general manager. A reporter asked him straight up, yo, do you ever foresee yourself stepping down or giving up the general manager position? So Jerry goes like almost like a spoiled brat. He responds back to him and goes, no, just no. I bought the team. Yeah, you bought the team, Jerry. We know that. You've had the team for almost 40 years. We got that. Then he goes on to say, I didn't buy an investment. I bought something that I was going to do for the rest of my life. Jerry, that's not how this fucking works. What are you talking about? You are supposed to build up a company and pass it down at a certain point. You're supposed to retire at a certain point. You're in your 80s, Jerry. The fastball ain't fastballing anymore, Jerry, and it hasn't been fastballing for quite some time. You know that. You ain't that stupid. You know you ain't throwing it like you used to, calling it like you used to, seeing it like you used to. You are far behind the times. I went into this season not picking the Cowboys to do anything. I didn't expect anything from the Cowboys because they didn't do anything before heading into this upcoming season, this current season that we just finished. They didn't do anything to get better. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or an NFL general manager to see if a team doesn't make any changes in the offseason, any tangible changes in the offseason, and only has deductions as far as your coaching staff with Dan Quinn, as far as other players leaving. You didn't replace any of them. You didn't, so seeing what we saw this year was expected to me. That's why I didn't go into the season with any expectations. I went into the season, quite frankly, not really watching any of the games. At least for the first half, I didn't watch any games of the season I'm talking about. I didn't watch any games. For what? Because I already knew what the team was going to produce. I've been around for a long time. I've been a lifelong Cowboys fan. I lived through Jason Garrett 8-8s. I can smell an 8-8 team from a mile away. And I knew this team was going to be 8-8. Hell, they finished 7-9. How predictable. And guess what? Don't be surprised if Jerry brings back Mike McCarthy. Extend him again. Why not? He finished the season 7-9. He's had 12-4 seasons. I don't want him. I thought he should have been fired after Green Bay kicked our ass in the playoffs. He should have been fired then, but Jerry kept him. So now he finishes better than expected by most because you didn't have your starting quarterback. That's your excuse. You didn't have Dak for most of the season, and you still finished 7-9. So on paper, that's going to give him some more time, and Jerry's going to extend him. It's just predictable. This team has become very predictable in the last few years because of the owner. Hey, man, it's an old quote by an old Trump ally called Anthony Scaramucci. And he uses this quote called, hey, the fish rots from the head down. And that means it starts from the top to the bottom. If it's rotten at the top, it's going to be rotten all the way down to the bottom. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys are. They're rotten from the top to the bottom because of one man. And, for me, I hate to be a little bit morbid, but at the end of the day, dude is 82, 83, whatever he is. I mean, you could take the hourglass out at this point. He ain't got much time. So he can play all these little games all he wants. He wants to be Al Davis, reincarnated. He's going to end up like Al Davis very soon. I'm sorry to say this, but it's the truth. And it's sad to see it end this way for Jerry. It's going to end exactly how it ended, like how things ended with his mentor, Al Davis. It's going to end the same way. Both men going out stubbornly toward the very bitter end. And hey, it's sad to see as a lifelong Cowboys fan, but hey, it's don't expect much, guys, until things Cowboys fans. I'm talking to y'all. Don't expect much. If until if and until Jerry steps aside or has a change in heart as far as the power dynamic of that team, that ball club, nothing will change. Things will go as expected, and it's like almost the status quo. It's like the government, the status quo. The Cowboys has turned into the government, status quo. And Jerry's pretty fine with that because he can continue to stuff his pockets and be the most famous person in Dallas, Texas. That's all he cares about.